Hi, kiddos. This is a video just for students who were not able to or are not able to make it to their virtual classroom meeting time for this week. So if you did come or if you're planning on coming to virtual classroom during your class period, you don't need to watch the rest of this video. If you weren't able to make it, continue watching. So in order to complete the week 6 virtual classroom assignments for my class this week, you're going to need to have open your chemistry COVID-19 closure assignments document. You're going to need to have these slides open for your class period. You're going to need a periodic table. You can either click the hyperlink here, which has a really good periodic table link to it, or you can have your paper copy out. And then you may need a pen or pencil and something to write on in order to do some work because there is going to be math involved. If you can do it on the screen, that's fine. You will need to show work though. So it could be uploading an image or you could do it on the actual screen. It's up to you. Learning targets for this week. Students will be able to recall how to use molar mass for any chemical substance using the periodic table, and then also practice converting between mass and moles for any given substance. In terms of what our agenda is, once you watch this video, basically what you're going to do is find the slide that has your name on it in your given class period. So when you look at the Chem COVID-19 closure assignments document, each of the different class periods has its own slideshow. So like here's the period 1 slideshow is linked right here, and then I'm going to continue making all the slideshows for all the other ones so that these will be updated by the beginning of the week. So you'll click on the slideshow for your class period, and then you'll find your name on there and do the practice problems underneath your name. And then for those who are at virtual classroom, we're going to be doing breakout rooms to discuss the problems in small groups. The idea behind this is that you can look at the example that I do, and then you can also look at what other students are doing. No two students have the exact same problems, but they're similar enough that you should be able to look at how someone else is solving it and hopefully gain some insight from there. So here's my example problem. So I'm going to go ahead and just solve this really quick. First thing, it wants me to calculate the molar mass of BeCl2. So in order to do this, I'm going to need my periodic table. So that's where, it would be helpful. Oh my gosh, mouse pointer, there we go. To have already pulled up the periodic table. So let me really quickly pull that up. So I'm calculating my molar mass of BeCl2. So again, we're just recalling how to do this. We did do it before we left for the closure, but I wanted to do a quick refresher on it. So first things first, calculating the molar mass of BeCl2. So I now have the periodic table pulled up, so I'm going to find Be. The molar mass for that, rounded, is 9. It's this number here. So I have Be is 9. I might just type it. It's probably going to be easier for this one. So 9 plus, and then since we have 2 chlorines, it's going to be 2 times whatever the molar mass of chlorine is. So 2 times Cl is over here, and I'm going to round that to 35.5. 2 times 35.5, and then I'll solve that. My calculator somehow broke, but luckily you can literally just look up a calculator on Google and one pops up. So 35.5 times 2 is 71 plus, what is it for Be? 9. It's going to give us 80 as our molar mass. And the units for molar mass are always grams per mole. So it's how much mass is in 1 mole of a substance. So that's how I would solve number 1. For number 2, now it says how many moles are in 30.92 grams of BeCl2. So this is where we're actually doing now a conversion factor problem, right? We're given one unit and we're trying to convert into a different unit. So we're given grams of BeCl2 and we're converting into moles of BeCl2. So this is where I'm actually going to use my steps. I wrote it on like a little kind of like post-it note. I tried to make it look like a post-it note, just right onto the side over here that you guys can come back to refer back to. Let me just move this out of the way. Okay. So first thing I need to do is determine my given value and my desired ending unit. So my given in this problem, how many moles are in 30.92 grams of BeCl2? My given is 30.92 grams BeCl2. I don't really care if you guys write it like this with the like big 2, even though it's supposed to technically be this small little subscript. And my desired is moles, right? I'm trying to figure out how many moles of BeCl2 that equals. So the way that I convert between grams and moles, I need to have some conversion factor that compares how many grams of BeCl2 are in any given mole of BeCl2. And I already thankfully calculated that up here, right? When I got my molar mass. So when we draw our map out, that's what we're going to use as the conversion factor ultimately. Let me fix this spacing on here because it looks weird. Sorry, I'm just making this look hopefully better. There we go. Okay, so let me do step 2 here and draw out my map going from the given to the desired. So my given is 30.92 grams BeCl2. My desired is mole of BeCl2. And then what I write over the top of the arrow is the conversion factor, which again, I calculated up in number 1. So that's 80 grams per mole. That compares how many grams to moles of beryllium chloride, which is BeCl2. Now we're ready to actually solve, which is steps 3 and 4. So step 3, put our given over 1, 30.92, put that over 1, then solve using the conversion factor in the format of desired on top and given on the bottom. So my desired, remember, is moles. So I want to put, basically what this means is 80 grams per mole. This means 80 grams equals 1 mole of beryllium chloride. So the moles is my desired, so that's what I want on top. So that would be 1 mole over the given unit, which is grams in this case. So that would be over 80 grams, and then we're ready to solve. Remember, you multiply across the top and divide across the bottom, so it's ultimately going to look like this. 30.92 times 1, right? This one here. And then divided by 1, because there's a 1 on the bottom right here. And then divided by 80. So let me plug that into my calculator and solve. Where'd you go, calculator? Oh, here it is. 30.9, oops. 30.92 times 1 divided by 1, and then divided by 80. That's going to give me 0.3865 as my answer. We can round that. Let's just do 0.39 as our final answer. And then we want to make sure that we include final units, which in this case are our desired units. So that'd be moles of BeCl2. Okay, so now I could do number 3. I think I'm going to skip it because I want you guys to have plenty of time to practice on your own as well. But I'll go over it in virtual classroom. So that's a good reason for you to come to virtual classroom. There's a lot of good reasons, but that's just one. And what you're going to do now ultimately is, again, find the slide with your name on it, right? So this is my first period class slide. Find the slide with your name on it and solve the 3 practice problems that are underneath your name. This is what I'm going to be grading you on for your week 6 assignment. If you're coming to virtual classroom or if you're in virtual classroom, we will work on this during class. Otherwise, you'll need to work on it on your own time. that's all I have for this week. If you have questions, you know how to get in touch with me. Um, Thanks for watching.